Lord of the Rings painting, working with the Amazing Art Expo Gallery. Just making sure the stream is working. Just checking it online. There we go. Looks good. And the chat is open. I guess I should get. I was gonna put on. I can't play any music because then a lot of the streaming platforms will mute the audio, but I can get my headphones going. I think I'm gonna do some Lord of the Rings soundtrack today. And then today I'm just doing the underpainting here. I've got. Here we go. Start from the beginning. I've got my wood panel set up here. I'm doing underpainting today in acrylic, and then I'll be doing the finishing painting later in oil. I was going to do just the underpainting today. It depends on how far I get. I might do a little bit of I might do a little bit of the actual oil painting later. We'll see. Let's see, where am I going with all this? This is the fun, interesting, abstract-y, texture-y part of the painting where it doesn't look necessarily right off the bat a lot like the finished product. I need some bigger brushes, but that's okay. Really what I'm going for is layers of color and texture. Like I'm going to start, this is going to be a very warm yellowy sunrise, but I'm going to start with some green on the bottom. A lot of times the color that I end up with in the finished piece is nothing like the colors I start with, and that adds a lot of layers of interest and texture and things. Some purples, and sometimes honestly the colors underneath have nothing to do with the painting, the finished painting, but they add a lot of unexpected things happening. Right now I'm just trying to get to coat this first. I finally got my good gesso back. I use this brand called Utrecht. It was originally a German company, but they've been out of New York City for like the last 100 years or something. Yeah, I guess maybe we could do some green even in the corners here. So this is going to be a painting of the city of Minas Tirith as it's under siege by the forces of evil, by the orc and goblin army, and all the Uruk-hai and all those nasty guys. So here's just a gentle thing to get started. How's it going, Matt? Thank you guys all for watching. Yeah, I like all these drippy things. I don't want to cover those up. I want to leave those because we'll see them later. Can even get some water splashies going on. Of course, this is exactly how I get paint all over my studio, but that's okay because that's what a studio is for, right? So today is going to be a lot of this, painting a fun layer and letting it dry before I go over it again. I should have gotten this out earlier. This is the Vornado. So that's why today has been sort of marketed as the preliminary stages of the painting. The quote-unquote main event will be tomorrow. To start with, it'll be a lot of colors and textures and underpainting and things. If you're a big, painting geek and you love that kind of stuff, then today is fun. Some people, they want to see the finished piece, which is understandable. I don't want too much drip necessarily. I definitely want this scratchy look. So even though there's not a lot of this color green in the finished piece, it's still be very dark and angushy looking image. This battle going on. These colors will be important later. Oh, and I should always spritz down my paint. Where's my bigger brush? Here it is. Let's do a little more greenish, purplish, something or other. That's really dark. It's way darker than I want right now. Just sort of smear that away. Yeah, that's too dark for what I want right now. Let's just not do the brown. There we go, that's better. I want to work my way up to it. There'll be some really great dark, ominous clouds over here. Greens and purples are kind of fun. Maybe we'll even see these mountains. So what's going to be happening if the city is going to be over here, we'll see the battlefield, all the orcs and everything. And then the Riders of Rohan will be coming up on the cliff there. This is where I want texture and things happening. Here's a paper towel, just sort of adding some paint, whatever, and texturizing some stuff. I want it to be unpredictable and scratchy and wonky here. Let's do a little more green. I can lighten this up later with some light value. Hey Kafir, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I've been streaming on this channel instead of my own because it's the Galleries channel. I'm not sure if this is currently the Incredible Art Gallery or the Amazing Art Expo. One of those two. And Rebecca, how's it going? So this is yours. This is my ambitions of being an abstract painter. Nothing like what the scene's going to be. Just color and texture, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and add some brown in here. I can smooth it out later. And I change hands a lot. For one, because your hand gets tired. But then also to make the arc of the paintbrush go in a different direction. If I go this way, it's primarily arcs going circles like this. If I change, I can make it vary a little bit. So now we're starting to build up a body underneath everything. I can smear and scrape and, as they say, conceal and reveal. Also, different parts of the painting is drying as I'm moving around, so let's do a little more fun happening up here. Okay, let's let this dry for 2 seconds. With the old Vornado here. I should be taking pictures of this. For the record, I always forget. Let's do a picture of this stage of the painting. That's one of the things. Oh yeah, please check out our Patreon page if you like these art videos that I do here. Our Patreon should be a link right underneath whatever stream you're watching. It's for a couple bucks a month. I think for as little as $1 a month, you can subscribe to our gallery and support what we're doing as far as doing these videos. Still offering you guys great deals on prints and originals. Yeah, check it out. It's Amazing Art Expo. It's our Patreon, so there should be a link. Hey Luke, how's it going? I'm doing a scene from Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's Minas Tirith under siege by the Orc army. Which will be fun. But yeah, you were Luke, one of our first patrons actually. So I appreciate you subscribing. So yeah, check us out on Patreon and subscribe. It's very helpful to keep our gallery going. So we can do cool videos like this. And eventually we're going to start traveling again and doing shows. We can bring a show to your town, maybe. Definitely, if we got a ton of patrons from a certain town, that'll be more incentivizing for us to come there. And so yeah, check that out. And then please follow us on whatever streaming service you're watching. Please follow, because I'll be doing these videos more often. I've got 3 at least of these Lord of the Rings pieces coming up in the next 3 weeks. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday for this week. Next week and the following week, I'm going to be doing a Lord of the Rings painting from start to finish online here. So please subscribe and follow us there. Okay, that's probably good. And this original is sold, but we are taking pre-orders for prints. So prints are available right now if you want to buy a print. So there should be a link on whatever streaming service you're watching as well. Do I want alizarin? Sure. So yeah, go to ChristopherClarkArt.com for prints to pre-order for this piece. And then a ton of other, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars Alice in Wonderland, all that great stuff. Here's a little bit of, I'm just doing all the fun colors here. What else do I want? That's probably good for now. Maybe a little more. A little more phthalo green. Got plenty of purple still. We'll do a little more transparent oxide brown. Paint Balin's tomb. Yeah, that'd be a fun one. In Moria. Yeah, there's some great light. That would be fun. Yeah, we always welcome suggestions for paintings. This painting actually is a commission, so this was an idea that someone had. Like, that's a great idea. Yes, I would love to paint that scene. So yeah, please, any ideas you have for paintings, just hit us up, and you can always commission something too if you'd like. I'm going to do a different tool just to switch things up. I'm going to use the trusty old paint roller here. A little bit of brownish, reddish, and some water. Let's move that out of the way so I have, I'm going to just fling a little bit on there too. This is some fun texture as well. This is going to be a great battle, like, landscape. Battlescape. It's probably a word already. So this is all the preliminary stages for it. It doesn't make sense yet. It does. Okay, it doesn't have to. It's like the guts inside of a person. They're necessary to make the person happen, function, and all the supporting things. But they don't make sense if you don't know what to look for, if you don't know what they're doing. Let's do, I'm really just kind of winging it here. Not too worried about where this is all going. Sometimes I kind of like the painting to look like what somebody's painting palette might look like. And then as I add the scene on top of it, you get all this great subtexture. Right, this is turning into a gray crap, which I don't want. No one likes gray crap, right? I want my colors a little cleaner still. And this is actually, if anybody notices, it's a smaller palette than I usually use because my big palette already has my oil on it because I was already doing something this morning with it. So if I'm feeling sassy, I can just switch palettes and then have get going on the oil paint. It also depends on what time it is. Usually these take me just a couple hours. But if you guys are real convincing, I could be convinced to keep going. Maybe that could be in the form of a couple new Patreons, people. That could be fun, right? I'm shamelessly plugging our Patreon service. Subscribe. We get some subscribers on Patreon, and I will keep painting today, past the underpainting. So that's fun, right? You have the power to make this painting continue. For today. It's going to keep happening this weekend, but I was going to stop after the underpainting was done. So this is super fun. I'm leaving a lot here because this is going to be the sky. And I want a light value there. But I guess I could hit it up with some proper, actually, white paint. Sometimes I sort of make this stuff happen with just transparent layers of paint. There's going to be maybe a little few more clouds there. Robert Miller, good morning. How's it going? Thanks for watching, all you guys. Let's do a little more of this alizarin right there for a nice red. Yeah, that might come out later. These will be the distant mountains. Well, this is fun. See, this is actually a really fun part of the process that not a lot of people know about. A lot of color, and a lot of color combines to sort of cancel itself out. Rather than painting it muter, more muted tones, I can use every color and make muted tones. Kind of like there's so much color they cancel each other out transparently, and it becomes a lot more gray. But there's color inside if you look closely. Maybe we'll do a big swatch of green right there. And actually, I have to admit, this is one of the paintings I'm endeavoring without having a super full reference, like composited together. Usually I'll do a nice reference on Photoshop or something. But this one is actually just several photos and images I've got of the scene, mainly a charcoal sketch that I made. And then a lot of photos, some stills from the movie, some production photos, photos of a model, some models of the city of Minas Tirith. Minas Tirith. But I don't have one perfect, fabulous reference to go off of today. So that'll be a fun challenge. Let's hit a little more purple. I want that a little more transparent. And I can cover this as much as I want with oil paint later. But to start with, I want this fun sort of stained glass window, abalone looking cacophony of color. And also, I've only got so many colors here. I can't make a bad one. I've only got 5 colors. Actually, I haven't used this one, so I've only used 4 so far. And it's looking awesome. Amazing sketch. Yeah, thanks. And Cynthia, how's it going? So yeah, the sketch came out really good. But that's actually going to be my main reference. And I'm just confident enough with my landscape painting ability to be able to figure the rest of it out as I'm going. Well, this looks awesome. Let's keep this wet. Whenever you're doing acrylic painting, you keep all your tools either wet or clean, or they'll be ruined. That's why these are soaking in a tub of water over here on the side. Okay. Okay, let's let this dry for a second. Well, I cleaned off this tool here. Let's spritz down my paint here so my extra paint doesn't dry out. Let's blast the old Vornado again. Dry off my tool here. I might replace my water as well. It's getting pretty murky. Let me be right back with some new water. Good. Yeah, I like this other gesso so much better. I had gotten stuck with some other stuff I didn't like because it was all I could get online because the local art supply store here was closed temporarily, but they're open again. I was able to get the stuff that I like. The right materials that you like are really a big difference in your painting. Okay, so this is looking cool. Let's say this is going to be it's really mainly two values in this painting. I want more of my transparent white. I've got two whites here. One is a lot more transparent than the other. Let's do a little bit of that. And then for the white, I definitely want more intensity in the color. The painting is more about the right value and the right intensity of color rather than which color. If you were wondering. I'm going to demonstrate that with this painting. There's all kinds of, there's no purples or greens in this painting, but they'll be there anyway, because it doesn't matter as long as the values are right. I'm going to start doing some green, really light greens and purples I want in this sky. Even though it's a dawn, it's going to be a lot of yellow. Really intense. And really transparent right now. Start building up these. Yeah, there's like a sliver of light as the dawn is breaking here. see the Rohirrim like right here. This might continue this way. In general, this is all dark because there's going to be the city here, and it's a lot of it's going to be in shadow. Some great light, like some like rim light and stuff around the edges of the city. So what I can do is a little purple. We'll do some purple here too. I'm definitely getting more and more creative with this concept of other colors in the painting that aren't there in the end, but they're still important. Here's the mountain range. Maybe some more of this pink sort of color here. Maybe we can actually do pink. As I slowly bring this section to light. A little lighter up here even. Yeah, here's going to be all the orc army down here. The city, I guess I could start eventually carving out where that city is as a silhouette against these. That's what's going to be it. That's the ticket. So here, that front sort of blade of the city will make a nice silhouette right there. And these will be mountains up here. Totally winging it, but it's kind of fun actually. Let's do some blue. Yeah, I'm doing all these much cooler colors when the end result is going to be much warmer. Just for funsies. This also needs to be darker down here as well. As, yeah, this will connect. Okay. We'll throw some blue in here. Ooh, this stuff is strong. Phthalo blue will tint your whole painting if you're not paying attention. I just need the intense colors in here. This is where all the intensity is going to be. Up here in the clouds. Let's put some blue back here. And we'll mirror that over here. Light, scratchy touches of paint everywhere. Fling a little bit here and there just for fun. Just to mix things up a little bit. I got some on myself. It's alright. I tend to end up wearing a lot of the paint anyway. Let's get my larger brush out. I'll let the sky dry and I'll work down here a little bit. Make sure my blade doesn't dry with paint on let's do a little purpley something. Just darkening this value in here. Very subtly. This also helps unify it just a little bit by going over with these gentle brush strokes. Let's say the city could be a little more purple. It's going to be about there-ish. There's the front of the city. I just decided. And then it goes up back here. It can be a little more green for some reason. As it goes up into the hills, the tombs and stuff back there. Okay, how about some brown? I gotta be careful. This acrylic paint goes into this weird stage very quickly where it feels dry, but it actually can be peeled off. So if I'm not careful, I will peel off all that paint. Not all of it, but some of it. And sometimes I want to do that, and sometimes I don't. I should take a picture of this too. I haven't in a while. Let's do that. Photo op. Another benefit you get from subscribing to our Patreon is you get to see progress photos of every painting I've ever done. Like nice big juicy photos so you can see exactly what happened at every stage. You can study them if you want. Super useful. If you're interested in painting, or you're just a nerd and like to look at that kind of stuff, you're like like to geek out on painting process, which I do. Or if you own the painting and you want to see what it looked like throughout every stage of the process. Could do a little more brown in here. Maybe a little more in the corner up here. Slowly starting to get to the value that I want. Let's do a little more of this light area now. As I drop my brushes everywhere. Yeah, I'm really going total opposite. It's going to be a very yellow, bright, exciting sunrise. But I'm doing green now because it'll be really cool effect. I might start throwing some orange and stuff in there eventually. Yeah, that's starting to look good. I glance over at the feed once in a while. Beautiful colors. Yeah, thanks very much. That's ready to be sold. I know, right? I should be an abstract painter. One day I'm going to come out with my own series of abstract paintings. It'll be like, I'll have picked a landscape or something like, ooh, I'm going to start doing this landscape. And I'll just stop at the underpainting and say, just kidding. Done. That'll be fun, right? Let's get some of this alizarin. I could do this with thicker paint too, which would help it be a finished painting. I think this paint is too thin to stand on its own. It's too thin and transparent. It needs to be thicker paint, which I could do. if I was going for a finished product. So I'll keep that in mind. If anybody wants my abstract work, you just let me know, and maybe someone can commission me to do something. I will let this dry for a few minutes. Okay, letting that dry. Stand up and stretch. I might also do something here. Put my grid back in just so you know where I am. Setting up my grid so I can guide myself with my sketch here. This is easy enough to paint over later, so don't worry about it. Sorry to bump the camera with my head. Now I can see where I'm going. Oh, you're trying to contain your inner fangirl. Nice. Thanks. Yeah, it's this is the fun part of the painting that most people don't get to see. And I figured you'd especially appreciate it since it's your piece. Okay, this is not the right place. I just marked the wrong. Oh, there it is. It's that. Yeah, don't know what I was thinking. Cover that up. Cover that shit up. Yeah, that's going to be the city. Let's use this again. Looks like I'm going to be alternating between the sky and the ground, as one side is drying more. ground, so I want some dark values. But I Can Carry You piece. Yeah, that's actually the third painting I'll be doing. I'm doing this Minas Tirith piece. Next weekend I'm doing a piece of Lothlorien. And the weekend after that I'm doing the But I Can Carry You Sam and Frodo piece. So those are the three I've got in store. Scheduled. Yeah, this is it's almost the right value as it is now. Let's just go a little brown here. Maybe a little purple. Purple brown. Because this won't be so colorful and pretty when it's covered with orcs. Like legions of orcs, you know. This is to set up the values. It's like if we start browning this out a tiny bit. Just to dull the colors down a little bit. I like this sort of purple idea for for the castle. Can chisel that front of that city out a little more there. Nice. Try some red. I'm really just rotating between my colors just because that's too light. There we go. I need to make sure that's straight because I never make things straight. They're always tilted to the left for some strange reason. My brain is crooked. Let's do a little more light. Let's do a lighter, smaller roller brush thing. And I need some clean, bright, exciting color there. That value is not close to where it needs to be. Let's keep going with the green for now. That could be a little lighter even. So I don't like just white because it's too opaque and it will kill all this great texture underneath. It'll just cover it up. It's getting lighter there, good. There'll be mountains up there, some clouds there. A little more. This will be the brightest value of the whole painting will be right here. Let's do a light purple over here just for fun. This is how you really get just crazy romanticized colors, is you just take risks with your color mixing and you really think more about the values and the intensity of your color than the color itself. That's too hard of an edge. See if I can soften that a little bit. Acrylic is really bad at having soft edges. It's okay, that's not what I'm going for right now. Little blue. Let's do this again in the middle. Do some blue actually, why not? And when I add yellow over that, it'll make a great combination. See, I like optical colors that mix through light passing through the paint rather than mixing the colors properly on my palette all the time. Kind of got that idea from one of my favorite artists, Maxfield Parrish. You might not know his name, but you definitely know his work. If you just know it. It's so well known work. It's beautiful stuff. But he would paint only one color at a time, very transparent, let it dry entirely, and then paint the next color over it, and then let that dry and paint the next color. Very much like how we would do a 4-color process printing, where we print all the yellows and let it dry. You print all the reds and let it dry. You print all the blues and let it dry, and you print all the blacks at the end and let it dry. He was doing that with paint, 80 years ago. Yeah, here's the city right there. I could, let's see. Could hit that with a little bit of this. So I'm doing this sort of a similar idea. Doing transparent layers of paint and letting them mix through light rather than me mixing them on the palette. How high does that go? Just under there. There we go. Yeah, this would be a really great sort of pink glow behind the city. A little more city hanging out back there. I've got all different sizes of these things. I can grab it. A little brownish sort of blue thing, purple, for underneath here. Awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. Rebecca Martin, you're excited to tune in and see the painting process. You got 2 Harry Potter prints. Oh, awesome. Yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting the gallery and buying some prints. Yeah, this is something we started doing since the quarantine, since we couldn't do any shows anymore. I'm like, well, at least we can still, you know, connect with people doing these painting videos instead. That's worked out pretty well. So yeah, please subscribe to us on whatever your platform you're watching. We have prints available of this piece and all of our other Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and Star Wars, Alice in Wonderland, Marvel, DC. I've done a lot of the pop culture sort of theme pieces, as well as my own fine art stuff. But there should be a link on whatever service you're watching to check out our website and see those. You can even buy a print of this piece before it's finished. There should be a charcoal sketch there, so you can at least see where I'm going with it. And then also, please subscribe to us on Patreon. There should be a link for Patreon right there as well. And that's how you can really support our gallery. For as little as $1 a month, you can support us. And then for higher monthly subscriptions, we have cool rewards, like discounts on prints, access to all of our past streams that I've done, you know, where they're only, you know, rather than just watching it live, you can watch them later at any time. Otherwise, they disappear and other people won't get to watch them anymore, but you will as a subscriber. And access to my original sketches that I do for a lot of my paintings. That's another Patreon reward. We have different reward levels. I even drew all the little fun icons that show the different levels of rewards. So that was kind of fun. Little, almost like it's like telling a little story as far as like how much you're participating in our gallery. You know, with the little icons that are on there. I thought that was kind of a cool thing. So check that out. Yeah, the I Can Carry You piece is a brand new piece. It's going to be part of this series here that I'm doing right now. So I have 3 new Lord of the Rings pieces on the way. This is the first one. This is the Minas Tirith, as it's under siege by the Orc army. And then next week will be Lothlorien. It'll be rather leaving Lothlorien, you know. And then the week after that will be the I Can Carry You piece, Sam and Frodo. So that's a great piece. That's a great concept. Yeah, I have to say I can't take credit for the ideas for some of these. Rebecca, the gal who's commissioning this one, had all these great ideas for paintings that she might want as a commission and wanted me to decide. I'm like, I don't know, they're all great. Can I just paint them all? So that's kind of where these ideas came from. So thanks, Rebecca. And you'll definitely get this one, and the other 2, of course, you have first dibs on as well, if you want those. Let's do a little more light here. How long has this been going for? An hour as of right now, so it's pretty good for an hour. I'm approaching the place where I might stop at underpainting, but I might continue just because I know this is going to be a time-consuming, involved piece, and I might go a little longer today, just so I actually can finish it tomorrow or Sunday. I have to admit, I did have I was trying to make Sunday early evening plans. Selfish, right? So I'm like, oh, maybe if I do a little more painting for this on on Friday during the other paint. Maybe like start the sky or something. That'll just get me a little further along. So I got a whole battle scene here at the city. There's a lot of stuff in there, but you know. If you guys want to super convince me to keep painting today, we could get a couple new Patreon subscriptions. That would be very convincing. So for $1 or $5 or $10 or whatever you want to subscribe for, you can definitely convince me to keep painting today. Where's my red? I think I want some pink in this, like more of a hot, warm yellow pink. Let's get that out of the way. Yeah, this color needs to be clean. There we go, that's fun. Ooh, that's fun. This is the brightest value I've had yet. See, it's actually the same value as this green that I've been using, but because it's a vastly different color, it suddenly has the impression of a completely different, brighter value. Let's say I want a little more of that down here. Speaking of Frodo and Sam, I'm listening to the Lord of the Rings soundtrack in my headphones, and I just got to the part at the end of the first movie where Frodo is trying to leave on the boat, and Sam comes running after him and, you know, pulls him out of the water. I made a promise, Mr. Frodo, a promise. Don't you leave him, Samwise Gamgee. And I don't mean to. I don't mean to. Oh, Sam. And they embrace him. Come on, Sam. Oh, Sam and Frodo. They're besties. They're BFFs if there ever were any. I made a promise, Mr. Frodo. A promise. Sam has the best lines. If I take one more step, it'll be the farthest from home I've ever been. You know what Bilbo used to say? It's a dangerous business, Frodo, going outside your door. If you don't keep your feet, there's no telling where you might be swept off to. Or stepping onto the road, or whatever that line is. I could quote the whole movie. I'm a pretty good whistler, I know. I am a musician. I'm sure that helps. Okay. I don't suppose we'll ever see the others again. We may yet, Mr. Gandalf. Mr. Frodo. We may. Strider will look after them. Sam, I'm glad you're with me. la. I don't know the words of that one. La 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 la. I remember in the theater, this scene comes on. They're like walking off to go toward Mordor, and the credits start rolling. Everyone's like, "Wait, what? It's over? Wait, what about Mordor? What about the ring?" Like, you know, there's 2 more full-length, like 3.5-hour movies left, right? People didn't understand that part. I thought it was pretty funny. Oh. Okay, this is approaching where I might stop for an underpainting. I'm deciding if I want to stop. And if that's the case, then I will definitely keep painting. Because it's only been an hour. Hello from Whole Foods. All right, so how's it going, John? I could do a little more of this pink up here. How's Whole Foods treating you? You getting some good discounts on some good stuff there? That's the reason I work at Whole Foods. To get some sweet discounts. All right, that's way too red. Let's brown that up just a little bit. I can soften that up here. These could be like clouds or who knows what. It's just this light coming from the east. Wait for my coming in 3 days' time. At dawn, look to the east. All right, let's keep lightening this up. I'm going back and forth with this red and the green. It's kind of fun. It just needs to be lighter. Maybe lighter up here too. Sort of as the clouds. The clouds and the mountains are going to kind of merge. Yeah, the distant mountains go here. Through here, I'm just going to start about here. So I need it lighter back there. Make sure this is nice and transparent, not too bright. I don't want it to be cleaving a big hole. There we go. Better. Yeah, this slowly brings the value. Now I'm just showing off. Soften that a little bit. How about a little pink? How about a little brighter pink? See, I mix those greens, browns. The green and the red directly turns into brown. But I mix them optically with layers of paint, and it becomes this beautiful melange of color. So thank you, Maxfield Parrish, for that wonderful idea. make this a little lighter too. This is the other side of the clouds. They'll sort of be light here, a little darker, and then lighter again over here. Yeah, a lot of my painting ideas come from artists from a much earlier time. Let's see, I can hit this. Come on, roll, roll, roll. Thank you. Maybe a little bit of color there. Okay. Let's get that wet. Let's clean some of these off. I'm going to let this dry for a second. Samwise impressions. Mr. Frodo! I can't even watch Sean Astin anything anymore. I watched Stranger Things in season 2 when Sean Astin's out. I'm like, Mr. Frodo! I can't unsee it. He's, you know, Bob the Brain. And you know, I've been tainted by Samwise Gamgee forever. Okay. It's like the great stories, Mr. Frodo. When you were little, and you didn't want to know the ending, because how could it be good? I don't remember the rest of that long-ass speech, which is not quite in the book like that at all, but still really works really well. And when the sun shines, it'll shine out the clearer. Okay. Let's get my little brush, some smaller brush, and do a little more. I want this to dry. It's really sticky. I can't hit that yet. I need to let that dry for 2 seconds. Anything else happening up here? I like where the colors are going. Yeah, I don't know if I need to add any more to it. I like where it is. It's a good place for me to paint over. Just need a little more lighter value here. Yeah, I'm gonna let this dry. And get some water and stretch. take a picture. Another picture. Looking good. Okay. Let that dry for a second. Yes, you can pre-order prints of this piece, as well as all of my other Lord of the Rings pieces, and then all the other titles we have: Harry Potter, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, that's probably most of them. I'll stretch out my hands here. Yeah, let's do... Yeah, this should be fine. Still lighter value here. A lot of scratchy textures. Yeah, this particular white I'm using is very transparent, and it actually fades away quite quickly when I add it on here. Make sure we get up in there. Gotta be careful not to peel away my paint. It's at this delicate, volatile stage. Yeah, this would be a very dramatic lighting scene here. I could extend that a little further out this way. Yeah, those greens and reds are mixing together to make a really fun piece. Mandalorian. No, this is actually going to be from Lord of the Rings. So, this is Minas Tirith under siege by the orc armies of Mordor. So here's the city right here. Mountains going off in the distance. The Rohirrim will be right up there on the ridge. And then here will be the armies of Mordor all like surrounding the city. Yeah, I'm really liking where this is going. I don't know how much more I want to do in acrylic. This might be okay. You do a little more over here. Yeah, not much. I might have to just let this dry and come back in a little bit and start the oil painting. I know that was scheduled for tomorrow, but I guess I could just do like the sky today. Maybe this can be a little bit of a bit right there. Oh, there's so much goodness happening here. I can use this purple right here behind the city. Those are the mountains behind the city there. That I can chisel out better later. Okay, I might go a little brighter still. This is that needs to be, for that hit to hit, really bright value with oil paint, that needs to be much brighter. That's still only about, I thought I was going to get technical about it, it's only about a 50% value, so it needs to be lighter than that. But it needs to be dry also before I can continue. Alright, let me change my water again and blast this again. The water turns to sludge so fast with these big brushes. Great spot on the wall behind my easel that is just becoming its own unique work of art in itself. Because that's where I clean my brushes up, just filling the paint on. Okay. Yeah, let's hit this again. This needs to be a little drier though. It's too wet. Let's keep going with the pink. It's working well. Because stuff dries so fast. Keep everything wet or clean when you're using acrylic. A little more white. I will do a little more of this brush here. Sort of smush the paint into the right spot. Keep it real scratchy. again here, very gently, as Bob Ross would say, 2 hairs and some air. Just like that. There it is. See the way that light just sizzles. There it is. This is your world. You're the creator. You can do whatever you want in this world. Whatever you want. Nice bright pink hot bit right there. That'll be fun. With this green surrounding it. Yeah, that's interesting. The dawn. There will be no dawn for men. That dawn is a common theme, seems like. 2 different times the dawn shows up and the army shows up with it. And then Sauron says that there will be no dawn for men bit. Let's do a little lighter. And we'll do this green again. Because even having a different color will make the value look different. Can lighten this up a little more as well. We'll go lighter up here too. It's a little too dark. I can go a little lighter than I want because I know this paint will fade a little bit. And I like the scratchies that it gets. Okay, I don't want too much big giant scratchies, little tiny scratchies. Alright, I think I'm nearing the end of this underpainting, so I might let it dry for like an hour. Come back and start the sky. Because I'm not going to wait till tomorrow. I've only been going for an hour and a half. I could take a couple hours and do this sky and then continue and do more later tomorrow. Let's do a little lighter up here still. A little lighter behind the city. That'll really bring that city forward and push those mountains back. Happy trees. There will be eventually. Well, they're getting all stomped on by the orcs, so they're very unhappy trees. Happy clouds, though. Well, right here anyway. These are the clouds, the dark clouds from Mordor. So they are, of course, by definition, very unhappy clouds. But here are the happy clouds that are being brought by the Rohirrim. The Rohirrim. Rohirrim! Swords will be broken. Shields shall be splintered. Or spears, one of those two. A sword day, a red day. As the sun rises. Forth, Eolindas. Do 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 do. Okay, just looking at this. Yeah, I think this is good for underpainting. keep saying that, and then I just want to digest it a little bit. It's going to be, where is it? Brightest. Yeah, right here. Do I want to hit that again? Just with a little tiny bit more. Without getting it too wet and rubbing it away. These are the subtleties that make the painting happen. You do, 75% of the painting just happens, and then the other 25% is like the real subtle stuff that takes forever, but makes all the difference in the world. See, it's getting just that touchy bright a little bit. Joseph, keep it up, bro. Thanks, man. Thanks for watching. Okay, let's let that dry. A lot of it's been drying for most of this time, so I don't necessarily need a whole hour. What I could do, I don't know if I'm not gonna stop the stream. I'm not gonna cross the streams either, because you know what that means. Imagine every molecule in your body spontaneously exploding at the speed of light. Total protonic reversal. That's bad. Important safety tip. I won't need to stop the stream. I think I can let this dry for just another few minutes. It dries, as long as all the water's evaporated, that's fine. The paint will cure. Acrylic paint, actually. This is acrylic to start with. I'm letting this dry, and then I'm going to add oil on top. That's pretty much my method I've been doing for the last few years, and it works a couple years. It works really well. It lets me do these fabulously textured, intricate, layered underpaintings really fast. I could do this in oil, it would just take me several days, and then I'd have to wait for a week before I could paint over it the way I want to. Okay, I can clean up my paints then. Let's just kind of set this thing here. Good. Yeah, that's going to be fabulous. Let's take a picture of this. So this is the finished underpainting. Over here, letting this dry. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna let this do for like 10 or 15 minutes to make sure it's nice and super dry before I continue. And then I guess I should look down here so you can see. I'm gonna clean up some stuff, get my oils out, and just getting ready to do the next part. So yeah, so just hang out, and I'll be coming back here soon. I didn't use any transparent oxide yellow. What a waste. I don't really need it. Guess I could try to put it back. Putting paint back in the tube is fine. second time to come from here. Go. Here's all the oil brushes. Ready to go. Okay, we're coming back here. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Gonna get this one started again. I think I'll just do as much as the sky today. And then I will continue tomorrow with the rest of it. I have to save some for tomorrow because that's like the official scheduled time thing. Get my tunes going back on again. Oh, hang on a second. Gotta get the monitor going here. Really weird side effect because of my monitor speaker and the streaming thing. Sorry about that. Okay, got a whole barrage of images that I'm using here as a reference. Just arranging those. Okay. Now we're getting the oil going here. A nice coating of oil, a medium that I do, so I'm not painting on a totally bone dry surface. Has a little bit of slickness to it. Put it on. Now I just gotta clean most of it off so it's nice and smooth. Oh yeah, this gesso is so much smoother. That other stuff I was using was like sandpaper. Alright, hit that one more time. Just so it's not, yeah, that's good. Just so it's not sopping wet. Okay, how am I going to do this? Oops. Let's move this up here. Make a room for some of this medium that I've got. Mm-hmm. Okay, got a good influx of people watching. Let's get started. So I'm doing the sky just behind the Rohirrim. Yeah, I think I need this to be a little more light in value and not so transparent, a little more opaque, I mean. There will be a little hint of a distant landscape here. Welcome back. Thanks very much. So it comes to like there. Totally winging it with the design of this thing here. Let's say here it can become a little more orange, yellow. Let's see, there could be a mountain there. This is going to slowly sort of piece itself together here. Little bit of light in the clouds coming through. I can hit that brighter later. Oh, I need some more Viridian. Because that could be just a touch greener. A touch of red. Alright, let's start trying to do some of this medium. I would like a little thicker paint, even though it's still transparent. I was experimenting with that this morning. So the paint itself has more volume. Maybe there's one more there, but that won't be so orange. It'll be a little more, maybe we can say pink. No, not necessarily want this sappy, bright, happy sunrise. Still needs to be dramatic. And this fades into the mountains up here. Okay. Yeah, pre-orders for this piece. Let my heart dictate the piece. Yep. That was my intention. And then this comes here. Yeah, this sort of turns into a little more of a, maybe a peachy color. I don't like to try to define colors with a name too much. Just thinking of them in terms of mixing colors. There's the outline of those mountains, or rather the clouds disappearing into the distance there. Big, scary, dangerous clouds. That's the Mordor side. This is the good side, this is the dark side. Okay, let's hit these a little bit. Great orange color happening here. I don't want this paint to be too dark either, where it's just dark and gloomy and you can't see what's going on. Gotta find a happy medium in there somewhere. I need another yellow brush. This one will do. And if it ends up being too dark, I can very easily just let it dry and then hit it up again in a few days in areas and lighten it up if I need to. these mountains. Distant might be this. Sort of orangish color. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this medium. It's my own little cocktail here. I don't want that to be too orange for too long. I want that to turn pink and purple and stuff. It's way too red. Needs to be a lot lighter and a lot more blue. As this fades into this area here. Oh. Woo! Felt that one coming. Never thought you'd see green in the sunrise, but it's there. Now it's definitely going to get some darkness happening. Which is going to be what? Sort of this grayish orange. It's going to get very dark very quickly. Darker would be closer. I could go a little more orange there. Yeah, I gotta be careful. The more medium I add to this stuff, the more volatile it is. It just sits on the surface, which means it can be easily scraped off if I want or on accident. Also makes my brush strokes much more visible. Kind of a new thing I'm playing with, so hope it's alright that I'm experimenting on your painting. So already I'm covering up a lot of these blues and pinks and stuff with these warm oranges, and it has a great vibration inside the paint, you know. It's pretty fun. Let's say this can be a little more of this pink up here. And that disappears into the dark area. Let's stand back and look at this just for a second. These mountains. All right. push this further than I think I'm going to need. So I can always push it back the other direction with some more mountains. Let's say those mountains kind of are like that behind the city. Yeah. Blend that in a little bit more. A little more red there. That's going to be almost blue and distant down here. A little more blue now, even. Yeah, I don't need a lot of paint here. It's kind of why I was been envisioning this idea of thicker paint, but it's very transparent. So I can put a lot of paint on, but you still see through it to see my other layers underneath. Because that's definitely a hallmark of oil painting, is lots of thick, juicy paint. But I don't want it to be necessarily opaque and cover up all this beautiful stuff that I just did earlier. And it doesn't have to. Let's say this can be darker even up here. Maybe it's a little pink on this side. Maybe a little too much. Here we get the dark clouds surrounding up on top of the mountains here. Nice. Maybe I can sort of add a couple as they come over here. I have to do the mountains first and see what that looks like. And that could be up later, even darker. Dark, ominous clouds up here. Come in a little further here. Here's where I could do a little transitional color, pink right there. Suppose I can sharpen some of these tips of these clouds if I want. Let's get up here. I'm liking this color combo here. I think it'll be the darkest, definitely the darkest on top. And that green is still showing through, which is really fun. A little more texture there than I would like, so I'm going to sort of fill some of that in. That's just an artifact of the wood panel. Try not to get my big schnoz too much in the painting, or in the camera, but I do have to be here to paint this. I think I'm right off the edge of the camera in the corner here, but that's alright, it's just this corner. I'll be down in a second. This is the dark clouds of Sauron that always accompanies his host, right? Maybe there's a touch more over here. Not too much though. Yeah, I might need to add a couple little sharp bits to this, the cloud. They're too soft and floofy. I need another color. So I need another brush. Let's get a big old fluffy, fat, junky brush. See, this is what happens when the brushes get too old. This wasn't, when I bought it, it was like crisp and sharp. And now it's like, after a couple years of abusing it. That's too pink. It's better. Needs to be just a slight midge. Slight midge. Smidge. Is that where that came from? A slight midge, bit brighter, darker. And let's make this my really dark value. This dark, evil, sort of grayish something. It's actually, the camera is showing a lot more light and stuff through here. It's a lot smoother than that. It's not that choppy looking in person. The camera does funny things to the colors of the paint and stuff. A midge. Michelle in the wind. Anybody call you that? Midge? Is that a nickname? Hey there, Midge. I always thought it was funny in the Simpsons show. That's what Moe, the bartender, always calls Marge. How you doing there, Midge? Michelle. Nice, that's cool. It's a fun name. Michelle with a bowl of vermicelli. I get it. Okay, lots of really great colors going on here. Let's add one more layer there. And yeah, underneath here. Vary how hard you push the brush to get some paint to squeeze out of it here and there for some sharp edge quality somewhere. I can use I want a little pink over here, but not super strong at all. Just enough to sort of show maybe some storminess. And then this gets real wild right here. A little lighter. There's a lot of purple in this brush. Wow. Was this my dark brush? That's probably why. Yeah, oh well. They sort of end up changing roles now and then throughout the piece. Here's the distant clouds as they get further away. And then, yeah, it goes right to the ground, I think. I love the artist Frank Frazetta. He does really great clouds. Those old school adventure Conan the Barbarian looking clouds, you know, that's a good one to study from. Let's see a little more light here. They don't say it like that with the sh sound, but they say like the word chicken. My parents. So Michelli. That could be like a cute little kid's name. Maybe they thought it was cute when you were little, and now they just can't let it go, you know. Maybe when they call you Michelle, it means you're in trouble, but Michelli means, you know, they're just playing and everything's fine. Every kid has that name that you know you're in trouble. My mom would say, Christopher. I go, oh. Okay, how's that looking? Yeah, those are super dark up there, which is great. I might want to introduce a touch more light here. Just to separate those clouds. Oops. Painting so close to the camera that my head bonked it. Put a little one right there, a little bit of a highlight or something. Let's do that dark again right here. I don't know how far to take this yet until the mountains are there. I won't quite know. a little darker though. You'll take notes, oh sure. Okay, some of these I could soften. I want painterly, but not where it's like a bunch of piles of shitty brush strokes. Needs to still look like a nice painting. Just think about these mountains and what color they're going to be. Could go a little darker. Where's this? Yeah, that's about there. So there's a, let's say there's a mountain here. Here's where it starts, needs to be a little more sharp with the edges. There could be a mountain there. Let's say there could be, this is separate that next one. Mountain, distant mountain there. Maybe I could do one more. Yeah. So there's where these mountains extend into this, and it blends in with the sky. I think these will turn kind of bluish pretty quick. They don't need to be all bright and orange and stuff. Sort of a gray. A little lighter. Maybe a touch more of this sort of pink. As it reaches, this is the ridge that the Rohirrim is sort of standing on. This could be the next mountain there. See that? Sort of starts to turn into the grayish. See, my paint is getting too opaque. Let's thin it out a little bit. And maybe we'll see a little bit of sort of a ridge. Maybe some little sort of detail on the mountain face. sharp. I want them sharp. That lost its sharpness. There we go. It's a little green. See, I might let this dry and go over it again with a different color that I might like. Okay. They're going to be darker at the top and lighter at the bottom. And then where's the city? The city is going to be back here. Now I'm Bob Ross, making some almighty mountains. Here's a nice face right there. Yeah, these awesome purple sort of mountains happening here. Those look great. Could be a little more blue. That's green. Totally green. I have too much transparent oxide red in there. The color is way more yellow than it looks. Another dark face of a mountain to intercept the one in front of it. And then here's the city. Brent, looking good. Is this Brent from Abend? How's it going, man? If that is you. Good to see you the other day. Good to catch up for a few. It is going good. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. You're catching me on a Lord of the Rings day. Okay, where is this city? Let's start pecking out. Peck, peck, peck. Where the city is. Yeah, maybe kind of this orangish color because it's going to be this rim light. Maybe here's the lowest level. I don't want to get too far into this. I'm supposed to save some of this to tomorrow, but you know, it's going really well. What am I supposed to do? It's like 7 levels of this city, and I have to actually count them. Ugh, but there's... There's that one, comes out, one there. And in my concept sketch, I did actually count. Okay, that's kind of like the 7 levels. That's going to be an ellipse. That's all right. You don't think you're going to sleep tonight, huh? Oh, add some happy ants. There you go. That's like, instead of happy little trees, I can add happy little ants. Good call. Wasn't sure what I was going to do with those. And this comes, as I see, I can't make this go down too low. Yeah, the lowest level of the city. Where did I put it? Like there. Here, yeah, this can be it. This is the largest ellipse. Ah, ellipse is in perspective. Fuck. Ellipse, and then where's my horizon line? Is about at this one. Yeah, so this is the flat one. Too much. That's why I get paid the big bucks, because I can do ellipses in perspective. There's the city. Yeah, down and then up. There's that stuff happening up here. Did I make that stuff too tall? Or did I not make this tall enough? Shit. I could push this a little taller if I want. I just might. I love how they designed the city in the movies. Reading the book description, I almost couldn't quite imagine, like, what is that? What are they talking about? 7 levels, sure, but I just didn't really read like the way they, I think they really sat down and figured, like, what the hell is he talking about? To design what the city actually looks like. Because I couldn't quite picture it in the book. It was really tough. But seeing the movie and then reading the book again, like, oh yeah, of course, that's what it is. All right, let's finish this. Just so I can place the city. Comes all the way to like here. Which means this goes up a little more. This is a little flatter. And that actually should be a little lower, like there. There's the apex. Right there. And I have to make sure this isn't tilted. Right there. That's that edge. Okay. I should need a clean brush to push some of this around. Okay, this could be a little lower. Yeah, this would be a good place to start it when I come back tomorrow too. It's like, okay, it looks cool already, so people can sign on and go, oh, that looks cool. What's he painting? Oh, rather than like, oh, it's a big pile of blob. What is that? I'm out of here. This needs to be higher. Nobody wants to watch a pile of blob. No, this is Lord of the Rings, not Jackson Pollock. That's too tall there. See, this is where half my time is going to be spent on stupid shit like this. That's why I don't want to get it down now. Is that really too low still? Yes. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. Give me some more medium. So I can use this to wipe away, there we go, some of this. Just so I can properly see this ellipse. Okay, there's one. First one that, oh, these get closer and closer. They don't actually touch the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? Or am I getting one extra? The wall is number 1. 1, 2. I think I did too many here. Yeah, I did. It's all right. I can go there. So there's one there. And this one will come out a little further. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We'll see a little bit of this one. It's like the weirdest wedding cake you've ever seen. This castle. I actually looked it up online. I couldn't help it. People have made this a wedding cake many, many times. It's pretty awesome, actually. I wouldn't want to eat it after that, though. Like, it looks too pretty. I'd want to save it. But you can't have your Minas Tirith cake and eat it, too. Okay, good. So there's the bottom. Let's make sure these line up then too, because they don't. So that is, yeah. There's that ellipse. Let's see, this is about the horizon, so this one is flat. And this is when it starts to go curve the other direction. Glad I noticed that. A little flatter there. That's good. It comes down the mountain there. Boom. It finally meets in the front. This is not long enough. That's the problem. Here it is. I don't need all these brushes right now. This could be a little lower then too. Okay. Wow, what a tough three-dimensional object to construct on a flat surface. Yeah, which means this might actually need to go a little further. So does this. I might have to have that just sort of disappear. I don't want that tangent. Proper ellipse. That's better. Yeah, this is going to touch right there, which I don't want, but I can iron that out later, and this will need to be a little extended too. And then there's even like a little extra bit there. And then there's like the little stairs that go over here. And all the extra buildings and stuff over there. The tombs and stuff, I forget what they call that. And here's the sort of hall thing, there we go. Okay. Oh. Time is at 4:30. Oh, it's just a way to stand up and look at this. Oh. It's looking good. I could do a little bit of a bright, really nice, crisp, bright cut through that sky. A similar perspective, I'll look at that later, just so I don't lose my window. Is that a similar shot of the city? I'm sort of inventing this city based on a couple pictures of a model that I have. Yeah, this could be really, really light. This is the bright, distant dawn. And I need a touch of transitional color there. As bright of a yellow as I can get. There we go. That's pretty awesome. How's it going, Matt? I'm glad it's looking good. Let's do some crisp edges on some of these clouds. Some like nice rim light on the front. Then I can soften it with another brush here. Yeah, that's what I need. Boom, I need some of that action. Just needed some crisp edges on some of those clouds. It was too floofy. You know what I mean? Floofy McFlooferson. Just needed a couple more highlights in some of those areas to give them some definition. Okay. Was this, where is my, that's not it. Was this my sort of color there? Yeah, I think so. Let's do a little bit of light behind that city. Squeeze out some of that dark out of there. Just a little sort of fog or something. Help show the distance too. And this will blend in with the ground. Okay. Yeah, and here's the slope on which the Rohirrim will stand. We're going to forgive a little scale here. Technically, they're so far away you wouldn't see any of the individual figures or horses, but I'm going to do them just so we read the scene better. But we shouldn't see them. They're too far away. But that's okay. It'll work. And then, yeah, I love these concentric circles of the orcs as their battalions are flanking the city. It's going to be really great. Yeah, let's push this up a little bit further. Yeah, this will leave me enough to do tomorrow to make a full day. Sunday, like I said, I was trying to make fun afternoon plans with some friends. Social distancing, of course, being responsible, but still fun things happening. So I'm like, okay, Sunday afternoon, I'd like to not be painting until 6 or 6:30. I know this is a complicated painting that's going to need time. So I'm like, oh, I could do a little more today. More than just the underpainting, since the underpainting went rather quickly. Okay, this might need to extend a little further. And this comes down a little bit. Yeah, that's actually okay, because that'll touch right there. Good. Yeah, constructing it now means I can play with it later and I don't have to worry about it. And when those clouds dry, I might be able to hit them. See, it's like after a couple transparent layers, sometimes that's when it starts to finally sink in. Let's look at this. Incidentally, please follow us online. Let's see. Oh, missing something. Oh, am I missing a level? I still have too many. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do I still have too many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have one. Take that one off. Because this is the 7th. The long sort of spike that comes out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I have 7. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good call. I think I'd put that one in there, trying to figure out the perspective line, and not realizing I was adding an extra level. Minas Tirith can't have too many levels. It has to have 7. Otherwise, the fans lose their mind. That's not right. That's not Minas Tirith. May the curse of the Valar be on your house for all days. Okay, just looking here. Yeah, I can blend that there's mountains in with the sky there. Soften that there. Yeah, I might be approaching what I can do today, or what I will do. I mean, I can add it back and respace the others. Oh my God, you guys are so extra picky. I know that there's a little bit of a leap between this one and that one. It's a little taller. I've seen different versions of the models, and they do vary. But, and I can actually space them out nicely when I add all little towers and little things. I can add some height to it. This is really just to iron it out. Yeah, when I'm doing my all the little there's all kinds of towers and all kinds of things in there. I'm not going to copy exactly the model. I'm going to, I'm allowed to elaborate and embellish a little bit of my own. But it's going to be, for sure like 90% based off of that. Well, the official movie model of the city, for sure. It'll totally work. At least it has satin, right? Yeah, they'll be. I can adjust them as I'm adding details. Okay, so I think this will be good for today. Um, yeah, please follow us online, whatever streaming service you're watching. Amazing Art Expo is the new gallery project we're starting. Incidentally, we have a Patreon page, so please follow us on our Patreon. There should be a link on whatever streaming service you're watching. Just click on that link and subscribe, and you can support our gallery for as little as $1 a month. And then we have cool rewards for higher subscriptions, like you get access to all these videos later, when otherwise they disappear from the rest of the world. No one gets to see them. You'll get to see those. You get to see progress photos, which I haven't taken yet since I've been doing this sky. You get to see these nice high-res progress photos, so you can see how the painting progresses. Nice straight on, rather than the camera, which is kind of crooked and the lighting is not great. This is better. And discounts on prints and access to original sketches that no one else has access to, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so please subscribe to our Patreon. Amazing Art Expo is the name, and there's a link right below you where you're watching. This original sold, but there are you can pre-order prints of this piece right now before the painting is done. There's a concept sketch that shows the charcoal, so you see where it's going with the design and everything. But you can pre-order prints of this. We also have prints of all of our other Lord of the Rings pieces. It's all basically mostly my artwork. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Marvel, DC, Alice in Wonderland, Star Wars, all the cool pop culture stuff, Game of Thrones. So a lot of cool, all your favorite nerd art, of this quality, like oil painting stuff. So check out that. There should be a link there too. If not, you can just go to ChristopherClarkArt.com, and then all the stuff is there. So, and then, my own Instagram and Facebook is Christopher Clark Art. Easy enough to do that if you want to follow me. I post fun sketches and little behind-the-scenes things that, we don't show anywhere else. Yeah, and Rebecca's going to be dancing on impatient tippy toes until tomorrow. Did she buy all 4? Well, she's at least getting this one, and she was interested in some. We're giving her first dibs on the next 2. She's going to have first right of refusal. I think Luke is asking because he wants them. So you guys are going to have to duke it out over that one. No, Rebecca gets first rights because this was sort of her project. And then Luke, of course, you're welcome to have second dibs if you want, I'm sure. You're a great collector. Appreciate having you. And our first patron on Patreon also, so thanks. appreciate your guys' support so that I can keep painting and doing this for a living, and we can keep running the gallery, which is very difficult and expensive and time consuming, and we want to get back on the road and come visit you guys and do more shows. So, you know. But anyway, I guess I can start cleaning up here a little bit. Feel free, you guys can ask some questions, specific stuff, while I clean up my paints. Since I know I always say that I'm not answering a ton of questions because I'm painting. But now fire away. And we can hang out for just a few more, and then I'll end the stream, and then we'll pick it up tomorrow. Fellow collectors, yeah, you guys are definitely really appreciate having y'all as collectors. I paint what I love to paint, and I appreciate having people who connect with the stories that I'm telling. And you know, it's like I'm telling your story, even though maybe we've never even met before, but I'm telling the story that identifies with you. And you know, by buying my artwork, either the original or print, you know, hang my work on the wall, and that story becomes part of your story for the rest of your life. And that's what, you know, that's what I think people are all about, is sharing stories. So I really appreciate you guys sharing my stories. Even though if I didn't write it, I didn't write Lord of the Rings, this is my version of the story, and I'm glad you guys identify with it. You know, it's cool. When did I do my previous Lord of the Rings pieces? It was a while ago. My style has evolved a lot. The first one I did was when I first moved to Denver. Jesus, almost 6 years ago. I think the first one I did was Sam and Frodo's Journey. I did like 5 right in a row. I did Sam and Frodo's Journey. Then I did Gandalf and Bilbo having tea, which is still one of my favorite paintings I've ever done. And then I did Aragorn and Arwen, that piece of them, like, you know, kissing or embracing, whatever they're doing in Lothlorien, which was a great piece. And then I did Gandalf and Pippin riding Shadowfax. And then I did Frodo at Rivendell. And then I did Gandalf fighting the Balrog. So I did 6, you know, within about 6 months maybe. And those were the first pop culture pieces I had ever done, actually. So that was really fun to explore that. I had started doing them just because I love the scenery and landscapes. I'd watch the movie and go, that's beautiful. I just want to pause it and paint that scene. It's so beautiful. The movies did a really good job with that. And then started evolving into more like capturing more characters and story and things like that. And then, yeah, about 4 years later, I did the Gandalf charging at Helm's Deep, because I had been thinking about that one for a long time, and I wanted to do another Lord of the Rings piece. So I did that piece. That was a really, really challenging painting. And then I'm doing these 3. We had aspirations of doing a 4th one of Aragorn's coronation. That's a tough concept to put in one painting. That could be like a series of 3 or 4 paintings. Honestly, there's so much going on there. So that one's we're still figuring that one out. But the definite 3 are this piece, Minas Tirith, they're leaving Lothlorien, and then Sam carrying Frodo. So those are the 3 definites that are happening. So you have to commission a new Lord of the Rings idea every year. That would be fine. I love Lord of the Rings. I just reread the books again. I've seen the movies more times than I can count. And yeah, so I would be totally fine with that. So okay, awesome. Well, thanks guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll end the stream here. So follow us so you can watch more videos. Subscribe to us on Patreon so we can keep the gallery going, and come out to your town and do a show. And then you can buy prints of this piece and other pieces on our site, ChristopherClarkArt.com. There should be links for all that stuff there. Christopher Clark Art is my hashtag for Instagram and Facebook. And then yeah, we'll start up tomorrow at about 1 o'clock is when we planned on it, 1 Mountain Standard Time. So you do the math wherever you're living. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.